So in this video, we're going to talk about how these couple meme pages raised $21.5 million in order to grow their media brand operation. So we'll first talk about how they did it, what these brands are, and just exactly what they've done in order to get to this level. And then I want to talk more about what this all means in terms of online business, entrepreneurship as a whole. And then lastly, we'll talk about what this means for the future and how this all could apply to you if you have a business online. So basically on this channel, if you're new, I cover mostly e-commerce related content with a little bit of crypto and NFTs sprinkled in there, which is just basically all the stuff that I'm actively involved in. So this channel is kind of like a big old journal for myself, like a little note-taking pad. And a few days ago, I ran across these news that I figured are important to talk about, especially with this kind of audience that I have here. So the company that we're talking about is called Doing Things Media. It's kind of a goofy name. I didn't really know about them prior to reading this article, but they're actually the media company behind some of the biggest pages that I know. So for example, they own the page Shithead Steve, which has 6.8 million followers on Instagram. They're just a classic meme page, and they do get a pretty decent amount of engagement, especially on these view kind of videos. They also own the page Doggos Doing Things, which again is another meme page, but more niche down to dogs. People love dogs. That's no news to me. And apparently they used to also be the owners of All Gas No Brakes. So All Gas No Brakes was a huge YouTube show, but it kind of ended because the host of the show, Andrew, had a falling out with this company. Apparently he was getting kind of the short end of the stick when it came to their contract, so he decided to go off on his own. But I'm not going to dive too much into that because I just want to cover mainly this deal and what it means. So apparently this media company, which is an Atlanta founded company, just took a 21.5 million Series A round led by Volition Capital, a Boston venture capital firm that has backed companies like Chewy.com, the pet e-retailer. So e-retailer just means e-commerce, and Chewy really is one of the biggest e-commerce companies, especially in the pet category. If we look at their similar web traffic, not only is this extremely consistent, but it's literally 52 million monthly visitors. So in a year, they get more visitors than the whole entire United States population. So pretty incredible growth. And the company that has backed this brand is the one that's investing and giving money now to this media brand that owns these companies. Now, what I think is really crazy is that Doing Things Media is actually a company that gets videos sent to them. So on some of their pages, they have a link in bio where you can literally just send them in some videos that you want published on their page. So basically they have an evergreen flux of content that's not really theirs, but they can still call it original content because, you know, they're posting it on their page with a few extra quotes in there, like with some sort of meme format like this. But just as a little disclaimer, they do own a bunch of other pages, so it's not like they just have these couple pages and they're worth, you know, $20+ million. They have a lot of pages and they just have a lot of different IPs going everywhere on YouTube, just across all social media. But this is a really cool business, and a lot of you guys don't really know about media brands because you're focused on physical product businesses, but this is a great business venture. Obviously, it's a very long-term venture. This company has been around for 5 years, but still, that's pretty amazing success. And the reason that they're able to raise this much money is not just because of all the eyes that they have, it's also because in the last year, they generated over $10 million in revenue profitably with things such as advertising, so selling ads on their pages. That's the more clear, more, straightforward way to make money with these pages. But they also run their own e-commerce operations. So for Shithead Steve, for example, they have merch. So again, it's nothing too complicated, but they do sell merch, and this is another big way for them to earn revenue. So that's what they've done. So with 10 million in revenue a year, they've been able to raise over $21 million to continue to grow. And what I think is super valuable, obviously, aside from all that money, is the direction that they're going to be able to get from their venture capital partnership. I mean, the people behind Chewy, they know what they're doing when it comes to e-commerce. So now they're going to be able to apply all of that e-commerce knowledge to the existing brands that they already have, and I think they could really blow this out of the water. So on this article, they talk about other meme pages. So for example, here it says in 2020, Warner Music reportedly spent $85 million on IMGN Media, which owns things like the Instagram account Daquan. And given what Warner paid for IMGN at the new influx of Series A cash, it's reasonable to assume doing things received a valuation that neared $100 million in this latest funding round. That's pretty unbelievable. So they've raised $21 million, but their valuation is nearing $100 million. $100 million valuation in 5 years making memes. So that's pretty unbelievable. I didn't think I'd be seeing something like this today, and this is exactly why I wanted to share it with you guys. I figured this would be helpful for some of you, especially since I know that some of you guys do have your own pages and you use them for your own e-commerce stores, which is obviously a great move given how valuable the page could potentially be. But of course, it's not as simple as just having one page. They've continuously acquired more pages and reinvested back into getting more pages. So that's a really dope business model. I actually really like it. Now, what does this mean for the future? Well, basically what I think is that a lot more companies are going to start getting valuations like this. I mean, first of all, there's so many big corporations that have so much money to blow, and why not blow it in investing into little brands like this? I mean, getting 40 million views across all of these social media pages, owning all those eyes would be extremely valuable for a big venture capital firm or any other corporation, really. So why wouldn't they start investing into more brands like this? Now, what this also means to me is that media and e-commerce, as always, are going to continue to be extremely aligned. But what I really love about media is that it's truly permissionless. When it comes to a media company, you can create media however you want, whenever you want, which is really great. When it comes to e-commerce, you do have to rely on a lot of different factors such as logistics, supply chain issues, etc., etc. But when you mix the two, then you have a really beautiful combination because one can supplement the other whenever they're struggling. So for example, if you have supply chain issues, you can still continue to build up hype with the eyes and attention that your pages are getting. So that's kind of how my brain is thinking of it. As always though, I want to know what you guys think. I mean, is this something that you would be interested in? Do you have any meme pages or any pages at all? Or do you know somebody that does this that could potentially benefit from these news? So, make sure you share this video with them. I really do think we can all be successful out here, and that's kind of the goal of this channel. So ultimately, I'm really happy for these people, and I think this is really cool. So how this applies to you? Well, you could just start your own meme page. I mean, it's never too late. And obviously, I wouldn't start anything with the intention of just becoming a billionaire off of it. Try to find something that you enjoy doing, like make a page around something that you like to start with, just so that you can actually grow it. And then once you do start growing it, maybe start reinvesting some of the money that you make back into building your team and acquiring more brands. So that's kind of the name of the game here. One of these pages alone would not be worth this valuation, but it's because this brand owns so many of these pages that they're collectively worth a lot. I guess that's the name of the game, just continuing to invest into new pages, smaller media companies, and building yours up in a really good way. So that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video is going up on Friday, which is actually the day that we do a live call in the Netsphere Discord. So make sure you guys join that. If you're interested in that community, it's really cool. You get a free course with it. And I'm actually having a special guest in today, but yeah, I'll probably be recording that call and posting it on YouTube someday. But if you want to see it live and be a part of it and ask questions and be involved, then you can join in the description. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.